Last times, I remember my son Noah's first breath. I remember him laying in the intensive care unit with a needle and a vein in his head, receiving medication minutes after he was born. I couldn't touch him for his first hour of life or so, but then I did get to hold him and look him over. Now he's so big, I can hardly pick him up. I remember that little boy's first word, truck, he said, pointing at his little toy trucks. It wasn't mama or dada, it was truck. I remember his first time crawling, his first time walking, and it seemed like he went from crawling to running in something like 2 weeks. Things changed then. I remember the day he first learned to ride a bicycle. I was running along behind the bicycle, helping him balance. He said, "Don't let go," and I didn't, until I did. I kept running along behind him, but he was balancing himself. When he finally realized I wasn't holding him up, in that moment, he could ride a bicycle. The next week he wanted me to come out and see him riding up and over hills in the yard. One week he was a scared little boy who wasn't sure he really could ride. The next week he was a daredevil doing stunts. I remember his very first day of school. He was a little scared, not sure what to think about it all. And he was also proud of his new clothes and his new lunchbox. I told him he was going to have fun and I would be nearby, just down the road. He hitched up his shoulders, turned on his heel, and went through the door like a little man going to work. Things changed that day. Those are first times. Each time a new era of his life, and my life with him, began. I always know to remember those first times because one time is all you get, and then things change. He used to come see me after the divorce when he was 6, 7, 8 years old. We would go to the park, and he would run around with the other little kids, climbing on the monkey bars, the swings, the seesaw, and the merry-go-round. I chased him, he chased me. We played tag, or he would hide behind trees, and I would pretend to have a hard time finding him. He laughed, and I laughed, and then we went to get some ice cream. And then that one day I told him, "You know, you're getting so big, son, too big to run around the playground with these little kids." He looked at me, and his lip quivered, but then he nodded his head, laughed it off, and we went running off to another adventure. 9 and 10 years old, we were building forts in the living room out of chairs with blankets and couch cushions draped over the top. We crawled through the fort and hid in little corners, and sometimes we slept in the fort. My back was sore from sleeping on the floor, but that boy smiled, and that was worth the sore back any day. 11, 12, 13 years old, we had these Nerf guns with little Nerf styrofoam bullets. He always asked about those Nerf guns, and we would get them out and run around and around and around the house, shooting each other, ducking, sometimes just throwing the bullets when we couldn't shoot fast enough. It's a lot of exercise chasing a boy that age. He never got tired. Sometimes my gun was empty. You can see when a gun is loaded or empty because the bullets stick out. But he would run anyway if I chased him, his gun fully loaded and mine empty. Sometimes at night we would turn off all the lights and sneak around like snipers, hiding from each other, trying to find each other. The house was so silent then you could hear your own heart beating, pounding with the excitement. Nerf bullets get in the strangest places. We would find them days later inside cabinets, behind books, in a light fixture. And then one day he stopped asking about the Nerf guns. I'm not sure when that happened. Between one day and the next, he just stopped asking. I only noticed that later, looking back. Just like that, a piece of a little boy disappeared forever, and a little more of the man he would become shone through. Now he's driving his own truck, preparing to go off to college. He has a girlfriend. He's thinking about getting a job. He needs to shave. One day, too soon, I will think about all of those things too, and try to remember, when exactly was it that he changed? If we knew the last time would not come again, would that have made a difference? Sometimes it is hard to remember the last time because it's hard to know. This is the last time this will ever happen. Last times are different than first times that way. When these things are happening, I try to remember these are the good times and I try to soak it all in, just in case we have come to the last time.